the future, but the future, it knows me. It knows the time is coming when no man will be free. The nightmare holds its claim on me, and it holds the deed to you. So it's time to get it together before your dreams come true. Living in a nightmare of reoccurring.
All right, welcome back to the Weird Show. This is Russell.
In a darkly different place where nothing's what it's
doing a Weird Show test of the gear here, and getting ready to do some interviews with some of the authors that I'm reading right now, which are Len Kasten of Dark Fleet. I'm also doing a review of Dr. Michael Sala's book. He's got a new one that's out. Space Force is Dr. Sala's new book that we're reading. We're going to have him on the program here coming soon. He's got a webinar that's coming up that I'm going to be checking out before I have him on the show, but it's talking about the playing of the UFO card, as people in the UFO community have called it for many years. Well, that is the theory that Wernher von Braun had disclosed to folks inside NASA, that they had a long-term plan to reverse engineer UFO technology, and at some point play it to the tune of either a savior scenario or some type of fake war scenario. So I don't know. We've been seeing a lot of UFOs are now being termed as unmanned aerial vehicles, or UAVs. You see the same grainy black and white footage of a 2004 Navy ships tracking it, Air Force pilots tracking of that same vessel. So that is being played over and over again for us. So they're bringing us closer to some kind of announcement. There was in late July the congressional paperwork that was asked to the report that was finalized. I believe the report was 17 pages is all. Initially I heard it was 6 or 8 pages, but I believe it was 17 on total. So playing the UFO card, this is a very popular theme amongst ufologists, and it's something that people talk about. So we'll see if this is something that's going to manifest in the UFO community, and with regards to what the government says. I remember the late Jim Mars, when he would be on the program with me, he would often say, the government makes the claim based on nothing more than the weight of the word of the government. And he also called it the metered release of information. So I think that a lot of this is true, and you'll see in the media in recent weeks and months there's a buildup, and some think that there's going to be a false flag event. Maybe they're building up, the Space Force as an option for, let's create the need for a false flag event. If they want to get more funding for the Space Force and space operations, then the way to get that congressional funding is clearly through some type of a staged event or attack on space assets. And so this is what my guest, Dr. Michael Sala, has been talking about in his new book, which is called it's a part of the Secret Space Program series. And his book, these are some of the books here of the Secret Space Program series. But Space Force is the new one that I'm reading right now, and that one talks about the possibility of this type of space, these space assets being targeted. And so, but anyway, one of the things I wanted to share is a video on Dr. Stephen Greer's recent work. He's got a new video out. I don't know if anybody's familiar with, he's got a number of videos that he's done. Sirius, Disclosure, part of the Disclosure Project.
and loss.
Let's
He raised an eyebrow as
see here. Let me get this audio corrected here. Hopefully this audio will play.
constitutionally protected freedoms disappeared, and the war drum beat loud and unopposed. The 9/11 attack set the stage for an invasion agenda that had been pre-planned for years, as General Wesley Clark revealed in a 2007 interview.
He said, I just got this down from upstairs, meaning the Secretary of Defense's office today, and he said, this is a memo that describes how we're going to take out 7 countries in 5 years, starting with Iraq and then Syria, Lebanon, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, and finishing off Iran. I said, is it classified? He said, yes, sir. I said, well, don't show it to me.
When Von Braun talked to me about this faked extraterrestrial, he called it a faked alien invasion that was being planned, I saw on a board a list of countries against whom we were going to build space-based weapons. I called Wesley Clark and he answered the phone. And I said, well, what is it about? And he said, well, I asked that question. What is it about? And the guy at the desk said, I don't know.
I said, we're going to war with Iraq. Why? He said, I don't know.
In its paper, published in 2000, Rebuilding America's Defenses, the neoconservative think tank Project for the New American Century asserted that only a, quote, new Pearl Harbor would generate the political will for the military and defense policy transformations the group desired. Indeed, these traumatizing events are always planned or hijacked in order to
Yeah, this is a real interesting part of the. I'm going to stop it right there because I think that's an interesting part. When you look at the PNAC documents of the Project of the New American Century, you could actually go back. This is a real interesting part of the. You could actually go back to the Iron Mountain report where it talks about these future wars and the event of the ending of all wars. And one of the scenarios that goes through is, global terrorism after World War II. It was going to be a series of wars would take place, and then it's kind of a psyop that they utilize war as a way to generate economies and fund their war games. But the scenarios in the Iron Mountain report and as it relates to PNAC and the PNAC document Project for New American Century as again it related to 9/11, it stated that they needed a Pearl Harbor, as Stephen Greer was just talking about there, in the Project for New American Century's document. This got us into the war. Well, dating back to the Iron Mountain report, it states also that in the event that all wars ended and we were not at war with one another, that they would have to make up a war and make up a fake war, and that fake war would be, the UFO card and manifesting out some type of manipulative attack, even if it was man-made or faked on its own. So that was really one of the key things there with faking the UFO technology, and so many believe that the United States has the technology currently right now to do this, and has had that technology for decades. And so what you may be seeing out there is these unmanned aerial phenomena, or unidentified aerial phenomena, or UAPs, as they're commonly replacing UFO with UAPs here in the last 5 years, with this new, especially the last 2 years. The UAP phenomena is being, replacing the UFO vernacular. But this is the part of this new film that Dr. Stephen Greer's put out, is the cosmic hoax, and this is, I think, like just out there on YouTube. It should be on Netflix or Amazon Prime or something, like many of the other Dr. Greer films are. But this one is out there, and you can see it online. And I'm just sharing a clip of it myself here, but definitely want to discuss this with Dr. Sala on the program here in August. He's going to be a part of the Weird Show here, and I'm reading his book here. Maybe we get a shot of this. Let's see. This is Dark Fleet. I'm reading that, but Dr. Sala's new book is Space Force, and I'm about halfway through this, which kind of talks about our Star Trek future, but it really talks about how the implementation of the United States Space Force got started, and how it's been a long period to get that going. In fact, it was actually mentioned by Rumsfeld the day before. There's some interesting things there as relates to 2001. Also, Dark Fleet's one that I'm reading too with Lynn Kasten. But let's play one more little clip of Greer's film, as it does relate to my interview with Dr. Sala, and he's got a webinar that he's got coming up. I'm gonna be checking out as well. So let's screen share this again and play a little bit more of this.
Perception and manufacture consent for military action and the theft of our wealth and liberty.
George W. Bush, Dick Cheney, and others had decided to go to war with Iraq long before Colin Powell gave that presentation. I feel like it was the lowest point in my professional and personal life that I had a hand in managing it.
But we've come a long way since the 9/11 attacks. That same document that called for a new Pearl Harbor goes on to describe how we need to put weapons in space, and even predicts the creation of the Space Force. For a complete fascist takeover, the men behind the curtain will have to play their final card, a cosmic 9/11.
This temptation to generate a false flag attack on the part of some extraterrestrial civilization, you even hear people like Ronald Reagan make reference to it.
Perhaps we need some outside universal threat to make us recognize this common bound. I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
Wouldn't it be clear if we all of a sudden found ourselves being attacked by an extraterrestrial civilization? We'd finally all come together. Wouldn't that be really lovely? Well, it's not really lovely for the industrial state. They don't want to lose their other enemies first. They want to use up all that before they go to that extreme.
The last card was the most profound experience I had in my whole life, and I accepted the mission. And until Stephen Greer picked me up and talked me into going to the Disclosure Project, when I had just about given up, that's when I saw that there were other witnesses to what's going on, to the truth, to the facts.
When she told me what Wernher von Braun had said, it didn't surprise me, because I had previously met with a number of people in the defense industry and in the intelligence community who had already told me that there was such a plan, and that it could be actuated at any moment. And that was one of the long-term agendas, was keep the technologies away so we can maintain our industrial base of fossil fuel and all this.
Yeah, this is
ready to pull the trigger on
really cool.
Information.
You got to check this out.
That benefits the foxes guarding the hen house, the people holding
Really powerful new documentary, The Cosmic Hoax. And this is going to be very interesting as I'm going to go ahead and kill that video there, but looking forward to talking with Dr. Michael Sala on The Weird Show here in a couple of weeks. I'm going to finish that book. And then we also want to have on Lynn Kasten, author of Alien World Order. And then the new book that came out last year was Dark Fleet, and I have yet to have an interview with him on this, but we've been away not doing the Weird Show for some time, doing some other programs, but I want to get back onto doing these, and these are the first two guests I want to have on coming up. But anyway, I guess just wanted to make playing with some of the gear and just getting it a little perfected as we play with this stuff, so that we can have a good show with some of the guests as these things. In August and September, when we start doing some of these at night here, I'll do these programs from my home. So this will be a lot of fun, and I just wanted to share some of that with regards to the upcoming shows, and then how that plays into with this book with Space Force and Dr. Sala. And I know he's got another webinar that he's doing this weekend that I'm going to be checking out as well. But other than that, I think we're going to have Norio Hakawa on. I'm going to have my friend Heidi Hollis is going to be on the program as well soon, and I want to have her on. She's doing a podcast with the Coast to Coast AM folks, and I was just checking her out on Facebook the other day. She was visiting with George Norrie and those guys. So she was our co-host with the old Set Lab shows many, many years ago. So very proud of Heidi, because I got her on the air doing some radio with me 21 years ago or so. And to look at her now, she's one of three broadcasters on the Coast to Coast AM podcast platform. And one of the other guys is Evan, who was part of Investigation X cast. I was cast with him for a docu-series that did not get picked up, but he and I were the two male co-hosts, cast members on that forecasted show project, and he's one of the other two of the three of those members that are doing those Coast to Coast AM podcasts. So those are really cool. I'm glad I know two of the three of the hosts that are doing that have been first selected for that. But anyway, we're gonna wrap this little report up here, and then we'll make another update or get maybe Heidi on to talk about what she's doing. That'll be something new that we do. But we're just trying to get familiar with the streaming platforms again. We were off doing recorded podcasts with another topic on my hemp projects, and so we haven't been doing the StreamYards live. So I'm a little rusty on this, and so we're just going to be getting these back going. But it's Russell with The Weird Show, and check us out. You can see. Let's see if you can check out the website here. I just want to make sure I can. Let's see if we can screen share this. The website. I want to just this is the homepage here, theweirdshow.tv. We're going to implement our screen integrated into the homepage here. So you'll be able to go on to weirdshow.tv and see the broadcast. That's the plan, is to have those available here as well. So just wanted to see if you guys might add. Let me add that to the stream actually here. Yeah, here's the website, guys. We used to do the Weird magazine. And here's some of the paranormal articles that we've had on our site. Yeah, we used to do Weird magazine. This was a lot of fun for a long time. Sold that to InfoWars, and did InfoWars magazine for Alex for some time there. But we may bring Weird back down the road. But anyway, I'm going to jump out of here and do another update maybe in a week, maybe to get Heidi on, talk about what she's got going on with Coast to Coast. But it's Russell. We're going to sign off out of here, and thanks for